Welcome to Yorkshire Entrepreneur, a new podcast where we talk to special guests about entrepreneurship in God's own county. We'll be discussing all things business, sharing success stories and the struggles to get there, as well as grabbing top tips from business support experts. In this episode, we talk to Duncan Lloyd from Cloud Accountant about all things money, but more importantly, profit. Hello and welcome to the Yorkshire Entrepreneur podcast. Today I'm here with a very special guest. It's Duncan Lloyd from Cloud Accountant. I'm going to have a chat with him and find out all those interesting things about accountants that we don't know. Hi Duncan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
I'm excited to have you on. Now, you're not just any accountant, you are accountant.
Indeed, for some years, and it's great to have you on our list.
Yeah, and we've known each other, like you say, for a few years now. It's about
5 years, yeah.
About 5 years.
Yeah.
And I can categorically say, for us as a business, you've been instrumental in our business and dealing with our accounts, getting organised, and as a creative, you've definitely really helped us. So you and your team, I will say.
It's the team. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic team. So let's go back. I want to find out more about you first. So let's go back. How did this all begin for you? Have you always wanted to be an accountant?
Well, no, it was a surprise to me. I mean, I read philosophy at university, and I remember going to a careers fair, and all the recruiters were after accountants.
Right.
And I said to my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, I think I'm going to be an accountant. And so it turned out to be, and it's been a roller coaster.
Yes, I bet. So you've always been an accountant. So how many years ago was that?
Incredibly, 23 years ago that I qualified.
23 years ago. So some might say this is Yorkshire Entrepreneur.
Yes.
And you don't sound like you're from Yorkshire.
No, I'm just living here temporarily. I mean, I'm a West Country boy originally. I went to university in Hull, and then my wife, we had an agreement that whoever got a job first, that's where we would go.
Yes.
So she got a job in Leeds, which is where she's from. So we moved there. I then got a job with PwC at the Leeds office, thinking I would just be living there for a few years. And here I am now with grown-up children with Leeds accents.
What does it say on your email signature?
It says, living temporarily in Leeds, 25 years so far.
So you must like it.
I do. It's been amazing.
It's a great place to
It
be.
is.
I
It
will
is.
say that. So you worked as an accountant.
Yes.
And how long have you had your own business for?
So we've been in business for about 8 years.
About 8 years, yeah. So it's not a huge amount of time, but enough time for you to become really successful, which I know you are.
Well, that's kind of you. I don't know about that, but that's kind of you to say so.
Yeah.
We do okay, and we've got big plans.
Yeah, you've still got big plans. I
For
know,
sure.
you keep saying, so you get those big plans and
That's
then
it.
it's like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one?
Exactly. You set yourself a target, and you think, when I get there, then I'll be happy, then I'll take my foot off the gas, and then you get there and you want more.
Yeah. So one thing I found with you and your team as a business that maybe is different from other accountants. So I've had a couple of accountants from being a freelancer way back to, then having Giant Leap and various other businesses in the background. And sometimes it makes people nervous or, Nick always refers to having to go to the accountant at the end of every year, like, sweating, being worried about it. But I felt as soon as we met you, it's more of a partnership, isn't it?
It is. I mean, our job is to help our clients make more money.
Yeah.
It's not to turn up at the year end and say, here's your report, here's your tax bill, here's our bill, see you next year.
Yes.
It's to work with them month in, month out, to hold them accountable, to help them build bigger, better, more profitable businesses. And that's really what it's about. It's about profits and cash. That's the language we like to talk. We like to talk cash because that's what entrepreneurs understand.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And you're there, like I said, as a partnership. You're there throughout the year. It's not just an end of the year thing.
That's right.
And I know I work really closely with Sam, who's one of your team, and she's been amazing. We have a monthly call together. She will talk, in simple terms if we don't know anything or don't understand it. And it is about you educate your customers as well, don't your clients?
We try to, and thank you for saying that about Samantha. She's great. We're very lucky to have her.
Yeah.
We're really proud of all of our team.
Yes.
And she does a great job for us. And absolutely, educating our clients is a key part of what we want to do. we're not trying to wrap our arms around the numbers and make them mysterious. We're trying to open
No.
them up and make it as accessible as possible.
Yeah, and it does make such a difference when you have someone that, you know, from a client's perspective, that you can speak to, and you can ask those silly questions, or if there's a panic, you know, last minute, you know that someone's going to be there to help, and that's what you guys have been to us for sure. So it's not, you started the business with just you.
Yes.
And now it's not just you.
Now it's not just me. That's right.
How many have you got in your team?
So we have 9 people altogether. I think. Yeah, 9 people.
Yeah, and they're not all UK based. This is interesting as well, isn't it?
That's right. So we have a number of staff in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So they're our offshore team.
Yes.
So there's a very clear distinction between outsourcing and offshoring. So outsourcing is giving a piece of work to another company and letting them deliver it. The offshoring is where, you know, we have people who work for us who just happen not to be in this country.
Yes.
And we've chosen to build our team in the Philippines.
And this has become so much easier, or so much more, I say, acceptable now, because everything since COVID has been taken online a lot more. So I suppose maybe 5 years ago or before that, when we were doing Zoom calls or team calls, however, you know, businesses run, people were a lot more reluctant to do that, weren't they?
They were a bit, and the pandemic was obviously terrible.
Yes.
For a lot of people, and I don't want to diminish that at all.
Yeah.
However, for businesses, I think there was a silver lining, and it was that a way of working was normalised to work on Zoom.
Yes.
More regularly, if you like.
Yeah.
And so we always had people working from home, but we were a little bit, I guess we were discreet about it.
Yes.
And now we can be really upfront about it. So
Yeah.
if someone hears, you know, a baby cry or a dog walk behind the camera, it's just part of the warp and weft of business these days.
Yeah, it is. It's really accepted now, isn't it? And you can get so much more work done, so much more business done. It offers so much more freedom in when you can do your work. And so, yeah, I think it's almost crazy that we didn't do that before, really, but we didn't, did we?
Well, it gives us access to talent that we otherwise wouldn't get. I mean, someone like Samantha, she's got young kids. Yeah. That's her priority. Yeah. Understandably. And work has got to fit in around that. So we managed to you know, get the best out of her and help her build her career and earn more money. Yeah. In a way that works for everybody, especially the client. That's the key. Yes.
And it is different, I suppose, depending on what type of business you are. I know for us, we come into the studio and we do a lot from here, but there are other things that we can do remotely as well. So it obviously depends what your business is. But yeah, you've really grown over the last 5 years, but even more so since COVID.
I think so. Yeah. And also the offshore teams really helped us to be more productive as well. Yeah,
fantastic. So you've got Cloud Accountant.
Yes.
But you also have another 2 businesses, don't you?
I do, yes. So we've got a number of education clients.
Yes.
And I put a couple of them together to work on a project. That resulted in a new company. Mm-hmm. And then as a result, I actually have 20% of that particular business. So we'll work together on that venture. Yeah. So my firm provides the accounts advice to that firm. Yeah. But yeah, that's the joy of working with entrepreneurs. You kind of see an opportunity, you put people together. Yes. You don't know what's going to come of it. Yeah. But it's been another enjoyable project to work on, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, fantastic. And I suppose clients as well, but going out and networking, because we met on a business course, didn't we? Yeah, quite a few years ago. And that's how we came to know each other, and then we became one of your clients. One of the other things I remember when we met was, which we've implemented into our business, is the way that you give your proposals to your clients. Yes, So that was great. And the way that you do that, we implemented into our business.
Fantastic.
Yes, yeah. And it was great for video as well.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was a top tip from you. So you learn, I love how you can learn from other entrepreneurs, no matter what the business, but still getting those top tips as well. So you've got Cloud Accountant, and then you have your other education business that you have 20% of. But then there's another business there, isn't there? Which is really interesting.
Yeah, so with the accounting firm, we deliver a service that we call Profit First, which is basically a cash management system that helps clients to hardwire profitable habits into their business. Mm-hmm. And this is really about understanding where your cash is going into your business and opening up bank accounts for specific purposes, and including having an account called Profit, because the job of your business is to make a profit, right? And you want that profit to be in a bank account so you can extract it and take the money out and spend it on whatever you want to spend it on, right, as a shareholder. And so we're trying to get our clients to run their companies like a PLC, like a public limited company.
Yeah.
Just like Tesco, they pay a dividend, right? Your company should pay you a dividend.
Yes.
So it's a fantastic methodology. It comes from a book called Profit First by a gentleman called Mark Michalowicz, and I brought the book along here.
Yes, I've read it.
Fantastic.
Well, I should have. I'm one of your clients, yes.
So it was really a life-changing moment reading that book. I could see how clients could really benefit from the methodology. So I implemented it in my business. I then, our firm became certified to deliver it, and I thought, well, there's more to go out here. So I actually went out to America to see Mike Michalowicz, the chap who wrote it, because I could see that there was a license in America, one in Canada, there's one in the Netherlands, one in Austria, one in New Zealand, but not one in the UK.
Right.
So I said, well, who's on the list? Can I go on the list? And he said, well, there's no one on the list. Great, well, can I have it? So we started a negotiation, and myself and my business partner, we bought the license, and we started off with 15 companies reporting to us, and now we have 30, just over a year later.
Wow.
And we'd like to get it to about 100.
Wow, big goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's amazing. And I know I read the book and I didn't really implement anything into our business until you became our accountant.
Okay.
And then you sort of mentioned it to me, and then I did a bit of research, and then I came back to you and said, how can we implement this? And you explained it to me in really simple terms. So can you do that for us now?
Sure. So the idea is that you allocate money into specific bank accounts, but it's not random. It's very it's all planned out. So you would once you set up your bank accounts, and there are 5, we call them foundational accounts. So income, operating expenses, tax, owners pay, and of course profits.
Yes.
And then at agreed points in the month, we normally recommend the 10th and the 25th of the month, you allocate money to those accounts at pre-agreed percentages.
Yeah.
So you're always putting, for example, 5% of whatever money you receive into your profit account.
Yeah.
And what it forces you to do is to run the company on what's in the OPEX account or operating expenses account.
Yeah.
And that makes you focused on making that money work for you. It's about making money scarce.
Yeah.
And so your bank accounts give you a very meaningful sense of how your business is performing.
Yeah.
And they're not basically tricking you.
Yeah, and I think the way that you explained it to me was it's like it used to be done way back. I mean, I look at, how my mum did it when it was all a cash system for everything, and you'd get your wage packet on a Thursday.
That's it.
And then you'd get all the cash out, and you would put so much towards, your housekeeping, then so much towards whatever kids' school trips, etc. And you'd have pots like that. So we did it within our business when we set up our Monzo account. But actually, we took it to another extent and did it in our own accounts as well. So for our,
I love that, because I do the same thing in my personal accounts, and my wife does the same.
Yeah. And
then my daughters, who are university age, they do the same thing.
Amazing.
So they get their loan funds in. They put some money aside for the rent, some money for going out, some money for the other stuff, the categories that they have. And I'm absolutely convinced it's going to save them a lifetime of financial stress. Because they know what their money's doing. They haven't got money on credit cards. They haven't got vague ideas of what's going on with their money. They're absolutely clear.
I have to agree. So our 2 older children, they also have Monzo, and they have their pot set up.
Excellent.
Yeah,
music to my ears.
One of them's found it slightly harder this year because he's gone to uni, so there's not as much money there. Yeah. But to be fair, he does the things like his phone and things like that. You know that they're going to get paid because he's put that pot of money aside. But I think the key point here is it's about profit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you want your businesses to benefit. There's no pointing it if you're not having it. We're all doing it for the same reason.
Exactly.
Yes.
You've got to make a profit.
Yeah.
And you've got to turn that profit into cash.
Yes.
Because that's what's going to deliver you whatever it is you want. Well, that might be a holiday home. It might be taking Fridays off. It could be whatever's important to you. But unless you've got the cash to deliver that,
Yes.
it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And like you said, you can just work it out as a percentage, so I know that's what I do for the pots. I have a certain percentage allocated to each pot, and then when that money comes in, it will go out to each of those pots there. So it is brilliant system. Love it. Loved the book, and love that you're now taking that UK wide.
That's it.
I mean, that's incredible. This guy, so Mike, I can't say his surname. He calls himself
Mike Motorbike. His name is Mike McCallowitz.
Yes.
He's all over YouTube.
Yeah.
He's a TED talker. He's a really inspirational guy to listen to.
Were you a little bit starstruck when you met him?
I confess to being a bit starstruck when I first met him. Yeah.
But now he's.
No, it's just Mike.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Because that's what everyone says, isn't it? When you meet the actual person. Yeah, it's just Mike. Yeah. I love that.
He's a great guy to work with.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I've got some quick fire questions here. Although, before I do my quick fire questions, I know I wanted to ask you something, because I know there's something else that you're passionate about, cars.
Yes, I love cars.
And so I think it's always good to have top tips for the viewers or for anyone listening to this. And this is something else you sort of educated us on as well. But tell us some top tips or some perks about electric vehicles.
Electric cars. Well, you're very brave asking me, because you know I can talk all day about electric cars. But I think at the moment there's a great window of opportunity for acquiring a really nice car for an amazing price, because if you have a profitable limited company, you can sign up to a hire purchase agreement through a finance house. Yeah. You can then buy a expensive car, which your company will benefit from a massive corporation tax deduction. It's called a first year allowance. If you were to buy a similar performance petrol car, you'd be paying a massive benefit in kind of £500, £600, £700 a month. For electric cars, that equal cost is about £20, £30, £40 a month. I mean, it's just of a different scale.
Incredible, difference.
And personally, I think that the driving experience is much better. It's a great thing to have. So I've owned a Tesla for 3 years, and I remember being in the showroom and sending you a picture saying, "Shall I buy it?" And Nick said yes. So I did.
Yeah, definitely. And then this year we've done the same thing, not with the Tesla, but with an electric vehicle. And people's concerns when I said it, they were like, "Oh no, but the electric costs have gone up." Yeah. But when we did the maths, oh my gosh, it wasn't comparable.
Still cheap,
I mean, we get the EV tariff. It depends which provider you're with, but we get the EV tariff. So when we did the maths, which I love a bit of maths. And we worked out I was spending around 50 quid a week on petrol, and we're just charging overnight on the EV tariff, and to do 200 miles is about £5.20.
Incredible.
It's a very good tariff. But so I think that's not as much of a concern as people think. We're actually saving a lot of money. So thanks for that top tip, Duncan.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, we do. We love the driving experience as well. It is different.
I've just bought my youngest electric car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cheaper to buy her a £15,000 Renault Zoe than it was to go and buy a £6,000-7,000 petrol car.
Yes, I've heard they're very good actually. Yeah, the Renault Zoes, very good. So I've got some quick fire questions.
Okay.
Can I just?
I'm bracing myself.
Are you ready?
Go for it.
So I ask these on all the podcasts as well.
Yeah.
So want to get lots of different answers. What would you do if you couldn't do this job?
I'd be an international pop star.
Really?
Well, probably
not.
not.
Good voice.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
I think that's a brilliant answer. Duncan, the international pop star.
In my dreams, maybe.
Yeah, amazing. So, what's your favourite part of your job?
I love talking about profit first. Get me on a stage, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I think it's meeting incredible entrepreneurs. And I love working with our team. We're really lucky to have all of our team members, so working with them is a joy.
Yeah, love that. So if you could go back a few years and give yourself one piece of advice, what would that be?
Don't sweat it.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so many people must think that, just why did I worry about that?
Absolutely.
It's just not important. Just go for it. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
So favourite place to eat in Yorkshire?
Favourite place to eat? I went to a vegan restaurant
But you're not
a few weeks
vegan.
ago. I'm not vegan.
Yeah.
And I was amazed how good it was. It's called, I say restaurant, it's kind of street food.
Yeah.
It was great. Donna Summer, it's called.
And where is that?
I think there's a chain of them. There's one in Central Leeds near the market. And
Brilliant.
there was actually a business meeting. And the person I was
Right.
meeting was vegan, and his PA said it's got to be a vegan restaurant.
Oh gosh.
And there aren't many.
No pressure.
And I thought, oh, that one will do. And he loved it. So yeah, it was good. I was very impressed.
Yeah. And that's interesting because you're not vegan, but you would still recommend that
I
restaurant?
would still recommend it, yeah.
Ah, brilliant. So Donna Summer in Leeds.
That's
Have
it.
to check that one out.
Yeah.
What is one of your future goals?
One of my future goals. I would love to have a VW camper van, the California, which hasn't come out yet because I'd like the electric version.
Of course.
So I think they're bringing one out in 2 years' time. So I'm 50 in 2 years, so I think I might
Treat
I might treat myself. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I've seen because there is an electric VW out, isn't there?
There is.
That looks like a camper van. Is it not? It's not a camper van.
It's not a camper van. It's just a van. Well, there's a 5-seater bus.
Yes.
And they also do a van. I think the van looks quite interesting.
It looks like the old style,
It does, yeah.
1970s-ish.
Yeah, because my parents had an orange and white one.
Yeah,
I'm
brilliant.
one of 4 kids, and we would go to school in the VW camper van
Amazing.
when they weren't cool.
Yes.
And so yeah, I'd have an orange and white one.
Oh, brilliant. For your 50th.
For my
I
50th,
love that
yeah,
goal,
yeah.
yes. So here's another one. So have you got a favourite day trip in Yorkshire?
A favourite day trip? Well, if I'm not with the family, it would be out on my mountain bike.
Yes.
Yorkshire has the best mountain biking in the country. I'm absolutely sure of it, and it's on our doorstep. It's one of the great
it's
things
beautiful.
about being in Leeds.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
I know Nick would agree with you because he loves being out on his
Great.
mountain
And he's
bike.
right.
Yeah. And it is amazing, isn't it?
It is.
I'm not very good at cycling, but I do walk the dog. So last question,
Yeah.
because we are video production.
Yes.
What is your favourite movie?
My favourite movie. This is easy. It's Tangled. The animation. I took my daughter to see it years ago, and it was a great memory. So we watch it every year at Christmas time.
That
now,
really
so, I love
surprised me. That I did not expect that one. Tangled. It is a good one.
It's
though.
a great film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it all the singing, the musical theatre?
I do like the tunes, if I'm honest with you. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Duncan, for coming on our podcast.
Thank you for
It's
having
been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. And I hope we've given our viewers some top tips as well. If they wanted to find out more about you and about Cloud Accountant, where would they find you?
They go to our website, which is cloudaccountant.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can find lots of information on there. You can contact us. It'd be great to hear from anybody, and it's also a real privilege to be invited to talk to you. It's been great to see your business develop over the past few years. You've done incredibly well.
Thank you. Great to have you on. We can check you out, cloudaccountant.com. We're going to put all the details on the screen as well.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Duncan.
Thanks, Ellie.
Thanks for watching this episode of Yorkshire Entrepreneur with Duncan Lloyd from Cloud Accountant. And if you want to find out more about Cloud Accountant, then you can visit their website, which is cloudaccountant.com. So for Yorkshire Entrepreneur, we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your thoughts, your comments. Who would you like to see on the podcast? Are you an entrepreneur that would like to come on the show with us? Are you a business coach that could offer advice to any entrepreneurs? Is there anything within the region, within Yorkshire, coaching wise, that you think would benefit our entrepreneurs? So get in touch. You can get in touch through Giant Leap, which is hello@giantleapproductions.co.uk. You can also follow all of our podcast channels. So we are on Spotify, we're on Apple as Yorkshire Entrepreneur. You can follow us on Instagram, which is Yorkshire Entrepreneur Podcast. Or if you're on YouTube on Yorkshire Entrepreneur, then you can also comment. So give us that feedback. We want you to subscribe. We want you to give us a thumbs up and also give us some feedback. We're looking forward to hearing from you. And don't forget to tune in to the next episode of Yorkshire Entrepreneur.